It's been just disaster after disaster. And then we found this clip from the televised mental institution known as MSNBC, where this woman, her name is Michelle Singletary, she's basically telling us all to shut up because, well, take a look for yourself.
Where we are right now?
You know, I'm just going to say this, and if I get bang for it, I don't care. There is a great deal of Americans where it is uncomfortable that they're spending more, but they are not going to go under. You know, you got to stop complaining when there's so many people who literally the inflation rate means they may only have 2 meals instead of 3. There are Americans who did extremely well in the last 2 years in the market. You still have your job. And yeah, it's costing you more for gas, but guess what? You're still going to take that holiday, that 4th of July vacation. You can still eat out. So I'm going to need you to calm down and back off, because it feeds into this fear, and then this fear feeds into people making decisions that creates the very thing that they're fearful of.
If there was ever a clip that perfectly illustrates why everyone sort of hates progressives at this point, that sort of holier than thou, you have to do this. If it's not directly affecting you, then you better shut up and don't talk about our guy who's in charge right now. Man, it's Libby, it's the whole thing related to media and reality versus what they want to show us, right?
Yeah, and she's also saying, don't fight for people who are struggling more than you.
Which is supposed to be their whole thing. Isn't that their gig?
Which is their whole thing. What happened to, using your privilege to fight for people who have less privilege? No, apparently not for this woman. So basically everything she's saying is actually anathema to her entire program, which is help people who are doing worse than you. But now she's saying, don't help people who are doing worse than you, because they're doing worse than you. So why would you want to call attention to that? And why would you want to call attention to the struggle?
Exactly right. I mean, the rich are fine with inflation. I mean, Chanel handbags just went up 60%, and they're increasing in sales. It's like the sort of the next level luxury good, And so it's fine for the rich. Are fine. The inflation creams the poor and the middle class. It's a disaster, and really is theft of their time and their labor and their property, and people absolutely despise it. It really does represent a transfer of wealth from the poor and the middle class, from the very poor all the way up to the high bourgeoisie, up to the most elite sectors of society in the administrative state and the very, very well-to-do who don't feel inflation at all. That's what inflation represents, and that's why people despise it.
Sorry, go ahead. No. Yeah, and we just saw in COVID, so much of the wealth transfer, right? So much of the depletion of the wages of the working class and the increase in the, pocketbooks of the incredibly wealthy. And now the administration is just continuing that trend. And we're now supposed to look the other way. Now we're not supposed to care that poor people are having a tough time. Groceries in New York City, obviously, and everywhere are skyrocketing. We see this all the time. I personally just buy way less stuff that my kid wants, I'm just like, nope, we're not getting that. And
left is to do intermittent fasting.
Right. Well, look, yeah, to uphold the religion of the Biden administration, not for any reasonable moral standard.
Dave, go ahead.
I mean, the other thing is that if you notice what she's saying shut up. She's got no answer. She's not even concerned with, right. Okay, how do we solve this? This is a thing that must be solved. How do we solve it? That's not on the menu. And frankly, it's really telling, because it's never been on the menu for the left. How do we solve this this wealth issue, or how do we solve this cost of living issue is never what they care about. The only thing they care about are disparities. And sort of managing those disparities, whether it be turning up the heat in terms of the the getting the poor to hate the rich, or in terms like this, where she's just trying to say, just shut up and lay low, because this economy is being transformed. And as you guys have said, it's all about, the war on the middle class is something that goes back on the left to the very, very beginning. And it's everything that the everything that Biden has done, and of course with COVID, is just exacerbating that wealth transfer from the middle classes up into the the Chanel handbag class.